artists that I had the luxury and pleasure of working with to develop these 5 murals. There's 4 above and 1 behind me.
My name is Saba.
Hello, my name is Na'ir Lara.
My name is Beatrice Chavez.
My name is Citlali Delgado.
Hi, my name is Celina. Some people know me as Surfer Calavera.
My name is Norma Chairez.
My name is Billi Free.
My name is Duran.
In shifts, we spent Thanksgiving in this space. We spent Christmas, New Year's break. Some painted for 20 hours straight. Through the night, we shared burritos and jarritos, jokes, lots of music.
Right now I'm working on a mammoth. Here, reimagining the White Sands Lake Otero as we know it.
I'm just working on these plants, on these people, and using a little bit of my imagination to imagine what the land was like. Lake Otero, 23,000 years ago, was thriving with different animals, so many humans and people, and I just want to bring that knowledge to this area.
To me, this mural is very important because it shows a story that's been hidden from us for a lot of people, right? And it shows the reality of what it is to be in the border, because we hardly see the reality of what our people went through or go through, and it's great to be able to do that in an academic setting as well, because we are ultimately challenging the narrative, the dominant narrative.
I guess I just love humanity, even the evil parts, and I think that's what history is about. Getting to capture that is what makes it real. And a lot of people don't know the history, especially here, it's the Southwest.
This is a huge win for us as Indigenous people, installing, implementing, and creating a space where we feel comfortable and where we're represented, you know, in a brighter light, you know.
I'm Na'ir Lara. I'm a professor here in Borderlands and Ethnic Studies. Our nickname is BEST. Welcome to National Day of Racial Healing. I'm here to talk about these 5 murals that you see in this lobby. Here in New Mexico, we keep trying things to boost our education outcomes, our education quality. And I feel like one thing we keep forgetting is the importance of history, of knowing where we're from, of knowing this place, even if we're not from this place, and knowing the rootedness and the sacredness of this place. As a researcher, I want to know, how might the stories told in these murals impact us as individuals and as Borderlands peoples, New Mexico peoples? I believe that when people know their history, our history, we're much better equipped for the future. Starting with the upper level, the north wall in white tones depicts what we all here call white sands. The wall shows life over 20,000 years ago when mammoths and sloths were around the area and more lakes and water were present. You can see the original peoples playing, swimming, and being around a fire. When the news broke around the world that the oldest human footprints in the Western Hemisphere were just a short drive from here, that was a watershed moment for us, and one that deserves more celebration and more honoring and more recognition that we are on sacred lands. The east wall, this one right here in red tones, this wall depicts the Pueblo Revolt of 1680. This I learned as a graduate student. It was the first successful overthrow of a colonizer by indigenous peoples. There would be only one more in Haiti, Haiti, in 1704. Only one more. This revolt, or revolution as I call it, was a result of Spanish colonization and theft of land and enslavement of Pueblo people for close to a century. When the Pueblo people united to overthrow the Spanish and lead them out of northern New Mexico, they stopped along the way here in Las Cruces and went all the way to El Paso and down to Juarez, where Pueblos still exist today. And we need to know that. We need to celebrate that. The south wall in yellow tones, this wall depicts the Mexican defection of the 1940s and 50s, 1840s and 50s, at the conclusion of the US war on Mexico. When the US took half of Mexico's land in 1948, it offered citizenship to Mexican nationals who were on these very lands. Many of them opted to migrate south of the Rio Grande to remain Mexican nationals and settle in what was Mesilla and Chamberino. Some of us are from these areas. This south migration indicates pride in being Mexican and a refusal of US nationalism at the time. The east wall here in blue and black tones. This wall depicts the westward migration by foot of over a dozen families from Georgia of African American descent and ancestry. They walked all the way through the south to New Mexico to build their own town and call it Blackdom in the early 1900s. I didn't learn this till I was a full adult. They were escaping the racist tyranny of the South and refusing new Jim Crow laws that kept them enslaved in a new format. In the 1920s, some of the families left Blackdom to settle in Vado, a town about 13 miles south of here. This first floor mural behind the artist is mostly in earth tones, red and brown. This large wall is supposed to represent the present while honoring the past and building toward a healthier future, a happier future, a place that's sustainable for all life forms. In this mural, we consider that we are oriented on the backside of Turtle Mountain, so the east facing. Tortuga Mountain, A Mountain, Aggies know it as A Mountain. I learned an indigenous name, Batsalie, recently. There's a fire at the base of the mountain, and our vantage point is looking out over the valley, spanning from Picacho all the way to Vado and beyond. Some of the people in this scene are pointing up at the murals above. You can see the woman behind the mountain pointing above. They're telling each other these histories, learning from each other. There is joy in the faces. How many conversations did we have about the expressions? Joy, dancing, music, acrobats, children, elders. This is an intergenerational project of healing together. Native animals and plants feature prominently in the image, from various cacti to a huge friendly horned toad on one, and huge ants, and a jaguar coming down the mountain. The mountain intentionally has the tortoise shell design to indicate that this was about the native turtles. When the Rio Grande was flowing at its greatest, it was 8 miles wide and meandering. It was beautiful, and there were thousands of turtles, is what I've learned. So people call it Turtle Mountain with a lot of reverence. Native foods are a huge part of the story as well. The Three Sisters, corn, squash, and beans. Also honored are the local food trucks and eloteros, selling elote en vaso, corn in a cup. Featured in the murals is very significantly water. Every single image has the water running. Water is life. The colors have significance and represent the 4 directions, the 4 seasons and life cycles. So you can see red, yellow, black, and white underneath. White represents the north and purity. Red represents the south, family and ancestors. Yellow represents the east, warmth and the sun. And black and blue represents the west, water and the night. Different indigenous traditions have different stories. That's something that I've learned. And then the turquoise ribbon underneath these colors represents water aquifers, providing life to all living things and the literal blood of these lands that we stand on right now. The 5 murals combined are called Homecoming, or in Spanish, Bienvenida. They tell the story of the sacred reality of these lands on which NMSU rests. Many people are from here who are in this room and have stayed here. Some have been here recently. We are all neighbors, and we must all know the stories of those who have taken care of these lands, the water, and for generations and centuries honor that work. Enjoy, thank you, and I want to pass it over to the lovely artist to share a couple of words.
Yatahe! Seyoma! That's Jemez Pueblo. Hola! Couldn't have thought of a better group of people to, get it done. We only had 7 days to finish this upper level, by the way.
Regardless what age, a lot of us didn't learn this in our schools, and it's really important because I feel it's an empowerment to know where you come from and the people that you come from. These people have been here for 23,000 years.
I'm from Durango, Mexico, and I moved here when I was 7 years old. I'm 37 now, so I've been living in Las Cruces for 30 years now. And 30 of those years, I've attended NMSU. I got my bachelor's in fine arts, and my master's in anthropology and museum studies. And I actually worked as a curator for less than a year at the University Museum. For those 30 years, a big part of it, I was undocumented. And so I did not always feel welcome being in the university for many reasons, right? For being a woman, for being a Latina, being an immigrant, being undocumented. So I say this because I think, especially today and after what happened yesterday, we got to think about our undocumented students and our undocumented community here in Las Cruces. The depiction of a paletero or the two women embracing, those small details really make you feel like there is community here and there's people that are willing to look out for you, right?
I think my favorite part of this project was everything. When you connect these ideas through family, through people, you'll know the history. And the history is there, you just need to find it. And that's all I have to say.
To me, I hope this mural really allows people to just feel. As an art student, you're institutionally trained how to feel about something or how to critique something, how to write about a piece of work. But this is something that's open to everyone. You don't have to be, in school. You don't have to be, a student. You don't have to be a professor or anything like that. So I hope a lot of people feel, the abundance. I hope people feel a lot of the warmth that, we've put into this.
What is striking to me is that it's a mix of artists and activists from the community and also artists and activists inside of the university.
So I think what we're doing is really cool because I think there's something for everyone,
You're working over here, I'm gonna work over here. And then we'll switch, and it's a cool dance.
It's important to understand how our land has changed, to understand how we have changed as well, and what we can do to find peace and to claim our place of belonging, which is here.
And who it's for is for you. Yes, you.